but he can't talk about it himself because he's either too stupid or just doesn't hold him from, he's like a goldfish with a shitty haircut. Yeah, I can't. Sorry about that, everybody. I was just looking for Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. It seems that they're just nowhere to be found. They have all the time in the world to write furiously a book about the cognition of Joe Biden when he's no longer president, will no longer be president again, or hold any other public office for that matter. They found it very important in an age where the United States military is being deployed to the United States Capitol to occupy us. They're nowhere to be found right now. Yesterday, during Donald Trump's absolutely demented press conference, just off the rails press conference, there were many, many moments. There were more moments than there were not of Donald Trump displaying cognitive issues. I'm only going to talk about one of them here, well, two of them here. One is that multiple times, so it wasn't just the slip of the tongue, Donald Trump, who's going to be in Alaska on Friday, Alaska, the 49th state of the Union, a state within the borders of the United States of America. He's going to be in America. He said twice yesterday that he's going to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin. I mean, at what point is Jake Tapper going to have a mea culpa moment where he's like, yeah, look, I f***ed up. I am so afraid of retribution from Donald Trump that I have to kiss the ring and bend the knee, jump up into the lap of old grandpa and hear a tale, have him spin a yarn into my ear as though I'm one of his grandkids. Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson are disgraces to their occupation. Cowards, at the very least. They're cowards because they're afraid of what will come their way for just doing their jobs. They're constitutionally protected jobs as members of the free press. So it's either at the very least they're cowards, but more, maybe sinister. Maybe there's a sinister element here. But either way, Jake Tapper, Alex Thompson, wherever you might be, brothers, here's Donald Trump, in case you missed it yesterday, saying that he's going to be in Russia when he clearly meant Alaska.
Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the only time. Again, it wasn't a slip of the tongue. This is something that he has impregnated into his brain, that he's going to be in Russia talking to Vladimir Putin. This came at the end of the press conference.
I don't want you to be comfortable. So no, I don't want to make life comfortable. So look. Let's just do this. Let's do this. It's going to be a big thing. We're going to Russia. That's going to be a big deal. What happens, happens. I'll let you know what happens. You'll be the first to know.
I mean, it's one thing when you have to worry about a despot, about a tyrant, about someone in Donald Trump's position, but it adds a whole layer of complexity and worry when they're also suffering cognitive decline at a level that we just haven't seen before, to use Donald Trump's phrasing. At a level, from the standpoint of dementia, it's really high. And it culminated also in a moment where Donald Trump wanted to talk about some of the executive orders that he had just signed, but he can't talk about it himself because he's either too stupid or just doesn't hold him from, he's like a goldfish, like with a shitty haircut. And he brings out his nursemaid, Will Scharf, again, the guy who serves the only role is to explain to Donald Trump the things that he just signed, or to explain to Donald Trump what he's getting ready to sign. And Donald Trump brought him out to the podium to explain to the American people, to Donald Trump, the things that he signed.
If I could, I just signed some executive orders. I'd like to have Will please come up and we'll let the people know what we signed. Do you want to put them down?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
A short while ago in the Oval Office, President Trump signed 2 crucial executive actions to deal with the emergency crime conditions we currently face in the District of Columbia. The first of these was an executive order, as President Trump said before, invoking his powers under Section 40 of the Home Rule Act to take federal control of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department. Along with that executive order, President Trump signed the statutorily required notification letters to Mayor Bowser and to the relevant House and Senate committee leaders. The second major executive action that President Trump signed was a presidential memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to utilize the National Guard to address the conditions we see on our streets here in D.C. It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state governors to utilize their National Guard units if necessary as well. These are bold, decisive steps intended to combat the out-of-control crime conditions we've seen on D.C.'s streets for far too long. And I, for one, am deeply proud to be part of an administration that's finally coming to terms with these issues, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you. So
again, the media missing the moment. Corporate media selling us all down the river to protect themselves, up to and including Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. I hope the money was spent well. I hope maybe you added to your kid's college fund, or maybe you bought a vacation home that's super nice. Maybe you can build a bunker below it for when Donald Trump comes for you, because it's not going to save you that you wrote a book about Joe Biden, Jake, Alex. You will not be saved from the fascism. You will not be saved from the totalitarianism, the authoritarianism, from the military occupation of the city you live in, Jake Tapper, Alex. You both live here in the city. You will not be saved. Hopefully, the damage that you wrought upon Joe Biden was worth it, because you're ignoring the fascism and having us look backward to a thing that really didn't even happen, right? Fantastic. Beautiful job, gentlemen. Beautiful job. Ushering, laying out the red carpet for the tyranny. Welcome it with open arms. Beautiful. Demented autocrat. What do you think? I would appreciate your feedback here. You can comment below the video, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.